The government has given Israeli diplomat Ariel Seidman 72 hours to leave the country. This comes after Turkey declared Seidman persona non grata over alleged violations of diplomatic norms and practices. Seidman is charged with repeatedly using official Israeli social media platforms to insult President Cyril Ramaphosa, as well as deliberately failing to inform Turkey of visits by senior Israeli officials to the country. The department says such actions represent a gross abuse of diplomatic privilege and they undermine South Africa's sovereign authority. EFF MP Nqobile Mhlongo joins us now for her party's reaction. Nqobile, good to have you and thank you very much for your time. Turkey says you're abusing diplomatic privilege. You're constantly insulting the president using social media platforms that belong to the government of Israel. Plus, you bring officials here without following the proper channels. Israel says, well, you are falsely attacking us on international platforms, plus you are claiming baseless things against our highest diplomat. How do you weigh the two countries and how they've dealt with each other in this matter?
Good afternoon, Etabo, and the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. As the economic freedom fighters, we strongly have welcomed this new development, which is long overdue and a principal position to do away with the charge defense at the Israeli embassy in South Africa. But also, you will recall, Tabo, that in 2023, the EFF in Parliament, we submitted a motion which was finally passed as a parliamentary resolution that South Africa should cut all economic and diplomatic ties with Israel, and we close the diplomatic office we have in Tel Aviv, and we chase away the Israeli embassy in South Africa, as well as close their offices. So we're welcoming this long overdue development. And really, if you will recall the past few weeks, the charge defense, Mr. Seidman, has been behaving in a manner that is uncalled for, breaking all diplomatic protocols and undermining our sovereignty. But we're not surprised. This is Israel we're talking about. Israel has proven time and again that they've got no respect for international law. They've got no respect for sovereignty of countries. Therefore, this was expected that they will do such because of our principal position to take the side of the people of Palestine, to make sure that South Africa will champion the genocide that Israel has perpetuated in Israel. So this is a fight back, Tabo, which is expected, by the way, and we must really support President Ramaphosa and Deco for this principal position. Even if it's late, it should have been long done, and we are now calling on President Ramaphosa to ensure that the 6th Parliament resolution of cutting all diplomatic and economic ties with Israel should be implemented with immediate effect and without fail.
What do you know about these unspecified social media posts that are causing offense, but also what do you know about this deliberate failure to notify South Africa, which are the charges against Seidman?
On the social media pages of the Israeli embassy, for the past few weeks, they've been posting one when they went to visit the Eastern Cape, going to our public hospitals, going to our communities, promising to interfere and intervene in our communities. When there's an elected government of South Africa, there's a local government that is elected in those municipalities. But beyond that, in our hospitals, there's a provincial and national government that is charged with the affairs of our healthcare system in South Africa. They went there and then they were posting videos and pictures with moving in the main with Kumkani Daninjebo and other people of the Eastern Cape, moving in our provincial hospitals, making snide comments against our president and against the government of South Africa. Our principal resolution and status government to support the people of Palestine and make sure that we reject the genocidal Israel. So if you look at the Twitter account more especially, it was very active, making a lot of comments, undermining principal positions that have been taken by government, thinking that there's individuals in this country who can override decisions of one parliament, decisions of two of government. You will recall, Tabo, that the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa says that foreign affairs is solely in the office of the president. Even the Minister of International Relations has delegated powers by the president, but all responsibilities of foreign affairs is at the office of the president. So there's no individual who's got the right to override those decisions that were taken by parliament and by government. So it was really disturbing that they will use our soil to undermine us.
Nobile, what do you make then of the position of the king, who says, well, I didn't need any permission. There are no articles, there's no framework, there's no law that prevents me from inviting Israel. Moreover, he says I can even take them to the province because it's my province. These are my people. These are my hospitals. I can take them there and invite who I want and take the donations that I want. I don't need permission from anyone.
Fortunately, Itabo, the Israeli government and the Church Defense or the embassy, they know very well that there's diplomatic protocol that they need to follow. They are here as guests in our country. They should follow the Vienna Conventions. That is non-negotiable. That's number one. Number two, the king knows very well the stance of South Africa when it comes to Israeli. He knows it. So we're not going to get deep into that because the king knows it and he is deliberately doing what he's doing. We saw him recently. He went to Israel. He went to Israel to support. We saw those videos and all of those. But the Department of Health is in charge of our hospital. There is no one who can go to our public hospitals and say they can do this and that without collaboration and authorization from one, the provincial government of the Eastern Cape, number two, from the Department of Health at the national level. So those are not done. Number two, the Church Defense, he knew very well that there's diplomatic protocols that must be followed when the senior officials from a specific country that are visiting any country, they need the authorities or international relations of that country needs to be notified, and then we know what they are here for, what each purpose is. This is a sovereign state. There's a constitution. There's laws that govern this country. We're not Banana Republic. We're not some satellite state of the genocidal Israel. So we've got, this is a sovereign state that ought to be respected, and our positions, the principal position we've taken against Israel to be respected by all, including the king himself. So we don't take kindly to anybody who seeks to undermine this long-standing principle. The people of Palestine have supported South Africa during our difficult times, during apartheid. But beyond that, it is a principal position to support the people of Palestine because there's a genocide perpetuated by Israel in their country. And we're not going to allow Israel to use our country, South Africa, to sanitize themselves of the genocide they've perpetuated in Gaza. In Gaza, they're bombing hospitals and they come to pretend to want to save our hospitals. There's nothing they can do in our hospitals while they are bombing children and women and elderly and civilians in Gaza, and they pretend to come to South Africa to want to do something in our hospitals. Problems of South Africa, will resolve them ourselves. We do not need any foreign people to come and intervene in our internal democracy or internal affairs of the state. We'll resolve it ourselves, and we don't need blood money. We must make it categorically clear that the money of Israel, we do not need it in South Africa. That is blood money. Israel is an apartheid state. They are perpetuating a genocide in Palestine. Their money is not welcome, and they are also not welcome. And let's lastly take this opportunity to call on Ramaphosa to really implement the parliamentary resolution to cut all diplomatic and economic ties with Israel and close that office of Israel in Pretoria and close the office, the economic office of Israel in Johannesburg, and all offices, and recall our people in Israel. Just last month, Tabo, we discovered in the PC Committee of International Relations that we are spending, DERCO is spending 400,000 on a monthly basis on paying staff members in the office in Tel Aviv. So those people, that office must close with immediate effect, and we must stop spending money of DERCO on unnecessary things that we do not need.
Nobile, let's leave it there. Much appreciated. EFF MP Nobile Mhlongo there, joining us, giving us her party's reaction.